clock is ticking. How are you going to use your time? Use it wisely, use it smart. Think about the return on investment of your minutes. Attitude is the foundation. You have the ability to control your attitude and those around you. There's no question about it. That's why I start with them. I mean, the other concepts quickly, I talk about, which we've already talked about. I call it tick, tick, boom. The clock is ticking. How are you going to use your time? Use it wisely, use it smart. Think about the return on investment of your minutes. Another concept is learning, constantly learning. Are you bettering yourself every way in some way? Learning is so broadly defined. Learning doesn't necessarily mean an academic discipline. Learning could literally be a hobby, but are you finding ways to learn, to get better? And I talk about some things that I've done recently that are just sort of kooky at the point in my life. It's like, why are you doing that? Why not? Why not learn? Why not constantly better yourself? I talk about taking chances. You know, too many people get caught up in risk and fear. Risk and fear are horrible, negative words. I talk about spinning them and I recast them in the book in terms of think about fear as focusing entirely on alternative responses. Instead of going to the automatic, this scares me and here's the outcome, maybe there's an alternative to that. I talk about risk and resisting the instinct and starting with knowledge. Resist that automatic sort of, ooh, that's risky. And think about, from a knowledge-based approach, how risky is it? What are the outcomes? So taking chances and getting it done are another big concept. We live in an interrelated world. The power of community, the power of relationships, the power of family. You know, you and I, Jerry, have both talked extensively about our wives, and there's nothing more important to me in my life than my wife and my family. And it may not be your family. It may very well be your friends. For everyone, it's different. This is non-judgmental. But I will definitively say we can't make it alone. As individuals, as humans, as a society, in terms of finding happiness, gratefulness, a fulfilling life, it's never alone. It always, no matter what, it's more fun with others. I talk about passion, about really being committed to something, not just a sort of passing fad, a hobby, but going all in. Whatever it is you choose to do, commit to it in a big way. Make it your, again, passion. I think passion is a powerful word. Why not go up here and be passionate about something? I know, Jerry, we talked about not everyone's going to be buried, but if there's an epithet, how do you want to be remembered? And now, after you've written that down, by the way, I think you should write it down because I think it's important. Take it one level deeper. And what are the key messages that you want to be in your eulogy? So now we're talking about your friends and family in the room. These are the people that knew you, loved you. They've actually given up some time in their day to come be here for your funeral. So you must have some impact on them. How do you want them to remember you? And then when you're done with that, I want you to write down, what do you want those couple of key concepts to be in your obituary? Because now we're talking about people that have never met you. And how do you want the world to know your existence? Start with the tombstone, then think about the eulogy, and think about the obituary. And when you have that written out, that's a pretty good idea of what you could or should be doing today in terms of living your best life. Because when you get down that home stretch, you get to the end, it may be too late.
I love the concept of tombstone, eulogy, obituary, because that's something that everyone leaving here today can go and say, what really constitutes a life well led? My life well led. And, you know, as my mom was going through one of her operations for lung cancer, I wrote about one of the great tragedies of life is that we don't get to write our own legacy. All we can do is leave clues behind. We have to give people the stories. And so if I start with my tombstone and think about my eulogy and my obituary, it is amazing.